Hello friends, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Professor S.P. Singh from Faculty of Management Studies, Gurukul Kangdi University, Haridwar. Today we are going to study Module 33 on Health and Safety. Friends, after studying this module, you shall be able to know the concept of health and safety, understand the need for health, list statutory provisions for health, become aware of the need for safety, enumerate the statutory provisions for safety, accidents in the factory, causes and prevention, and role of supervisors. In the context of factories, employees' health and safety is a crucial aspect for the smooth and successful functioning of a company. It is a determining factor in organizational effectiveness and attempt to ensure an environment free of accidents. Companies must give the equal importance to achieving high performance as in the case of other major objectives of their business. This is because adequate attention to the safety and welfare of the employees can provide valuable results to a company by bringing up employee morale, bring down absenteeism, and increasing productivity, reducing to minimum the chances of work-related injuries and illness, and increasing the quality of products and services. Industrial health is essential to encourage and maintain the greatest degree of workers' physical, social, and mental well-being, enhance productivity and quality of work, bring down rate of accidents, injuries, absenteeism and labor turnover, protect workers against any health hazard arising out of work or conditions. The Factories Act 1948 lays emphasis on the preventive measures. Every factory should be kept clean and free from effluvia. Dirt needs to be removed on a daily basis. The floor of the workroom, benches, staircases and passages are required to be cleaned daily to prevent accumulation of dirt. Workroom floors must be washed at least one time a week with the help of some disinfecting fluid. Walls, partitions, ceilings, doors and windows must be periodically painted and varnished. Effective arrangements for the disposal and or treatment of waste and effluents must be made. These should be maintained in a clean and hygienic condition. Every workroom in the factory must have proper natural ventilation, allowing circulation of fresh air. The room temperature should be kept at a comfortable level to workers. The walls and roofs should be of such material and of such design in order to keep the temperature low. Whitewashing, spraying and insulating the factory premises by screening outside walls, windows and rooms may be used for controlling high temperature. Effective arrangements must be made to prevent and reduce the inhalation and accumulation of dust and fumes. The factory dealing on manufacturing process should be careful of the proper exhaustion of dust, fume and other impurities from its point of origin. Section 15 specifies regarding the artificial humidification in factories, where in factories the humidity level of air is artificially increased, state government rules needs to be followed. No room in the factory should be overcrowded. There should be at least 14.2 cubic meters of space for every workman. The factory must have sufficient and suitable arrangements for lighting, natural as well as artificial, glazed windows and skylights used to light the workroom should be kept clean. Provisions should be made for the prevention of glare and the formation of shadows in the work spot. The factory must provide for wholesome and sufficient and pure drinking water for the workers. Some provisions for suitable point for drinking water supply are also specified. The drinking water point should not be within 6 meters range of any washing place, urinal, latrine, spittoon and open drainage. Additionally, a factory where more than 250 workers are employed, provisions for cooling drinking water during hot temperature needs to be made. In every factory, sufficient accommodation for urinals should be provided at convenient locations maintained separately for male and female workers, having sufficient enclosed space, conveniently situated and accessible to all workmen, adequately lighted and ventilated, kept clean at all time and maintained properly by employing sweepers for this purpose. Adequate number of spittoons be provided at convenient location. In every factory, every dangerous portion of every machinery must be securely fenced by safeguards of substantial construction, shall be constantly maintained and kept in position while the parts of the machinery are in motion or in use. Where in any factory it becomes necessary to examine any part of the machinery while the machinery is in motion, specially trained adult male workers must carry out such examination. Such workers shall wear tight-fitting clothing and record their names in the register prescribed for this purpose. The Factories Act prohibits employment of young person on certain kind of machines. They can work only after they have been fully instructed regarding the dangers arising from connection with the machines and the observation of the precautions. They should have received adequate training in work at such machines. They should be under supervision of a person having a thorough knowledge and experience of the machines. In every factory, appropriate striking gear or other efficient mechanical devices shall be provided, maintained and used to move driving belts to and from fast as well as loose pulley, which is a part of the transmission machinery. Driving belts, when not in use, shall not be allowed to rest or ride upon the shafting in motion. In every factory, in every workroom, appropriate devices for cutting of power on emergent occasions from running machinery shall be provided and maintained. No traversing portion of a self-acting machine in any factory and material carried thereon shall be allowed to run on its outward or inward traverse within a distance of 45 centimeters from any fixed structure which is not part of the machine. This provision shall apply only if the space over which the traversing part of the self-acting machine runs is a space over which any person is liable to pass, whether in the course of his employment or otherwise. All machinery driven by power and installed in any factory after 1st April 1949, every set screw, bolt or key on any revolving shaft, spindle, wheel or pinion shall be so sunk, encased or otherwise effectively guarded as to prevent danger. Employment of women and children. No woman or child shall be employed in any part of a factory for pressing cotton in which cotton opener is at work. If the feed end of a cotton opener is in a room separated from the delivery and by a partition extending to the room or to a specified height, women and children may be employed on the side of the partition where the feed end is situated. In every factory, hoists and lifts shall be of good mechanical construction, sound material, and of adequate strength. They shall be properly maintained and thoroughly examined by a competent person at least once in every period of 6 months. For the purpose of containing the prescribed particulars of each such examination, a register shall be kept. Every hoist, way and lift way shall be sufficiently protected by an enclosure with gates fitted, and the hoist or lift and every such enclosure be so constructed as to avert any person or thing from being trapped between any part of the hoist or lift and any fixed structure or moving part. In every factory, cranes and other lifting machines shall be good construction, sound material, and adequate strength, free from defects and properly maintained. These shall be thoroughly examined by a competent person at least once in every 12 months. A register containing the prescribed particulars of every such examination shall be kept. These machines and equipments shall not, except for the purpose of test, be loaded beyond the safe working load, which shall be plainly marked thereon together with an identification mark and duly entered in the prescribed register. In every factory in which the process of grinding is carried on, there shall be permanently kept near each machine a notice indicating the maximum safe working peripheral speeds of every grindstone abrasive wheel, the speed of the shaft or spindle upon which the wheel is mounted, and the diameter of the pulley upon which such shaft or spindle necessary to secure such safe working peripheral speed. The speed indicated in the notices shall not be exceeded. Effective measures shall be taken in every factory to ensure that the safe working peripheral speed of every such machine is not exceeded. If in any factory, any part of the plant or machinery used in a manufacturing process is operated at a pressure plant above atmospheric pressure, effective measures shall be adopted to ensure that the safe working limit of pressure of such plant is not crossed. In every factory, all floors, steps, stairs and passages shall be of a strong construction and appropriately maintained. Further, they shall be kept free from obstructions and substances likely to cause persons to slip, and handrails shall be provided where necessary. There shall, so far as is reasonably practicable, be provided and maintained safe means of access to every place at which any person is at any time required to work. No person shall be required or allowed to enter any chamber, tank, vat, pit, pipe, flue or other confined space in a factory in which such substances are likely to be present to such an extent as to involve risk to persons being overcome thereby, unless it is provided with a manhole of adequate size or other effective means of regress. No portable electric light of voltage exceeding 24 volts shall be allowed in any factory for use inside any enclosed space. Where the fumes present are possibly to be inflammable, no lamp or light other than of flame shall be allowed to be used. When in any factory, any manufacturing process in the factory produces dust, gas, fume or vapor of such a nature as is likely to explode on ignition, effective means shall be adopted to avert any such explosion by effective enclosure of the plant or machinery used in the process for the removal or prevention of the accumulation of such dust, gas, fume or vapor, exclusion or effective enclosure of all possible source of ignition. In every factory, all practicable measures shall be taken to prevent outbreak of fire and its spread both internally and externally, and to provide and maintain in safe means of escape for all persons in the event of a fire, and the necessary equipment and facilities for extinguishing fire. If any building or part of a building or machinery or plant in any factory is in such a condition that it is dangerous to human life or a safety, the inspector may serve on the occupier or the manager or both of the factory an order in writing specifying the measures which opinion shall be adopted and requiring them to be carried out before a specified date. A safety officer shall be appointed in every factory employing 1,000 or more workers. He should formulate a safety policy to be followed, investigate causes of injuries and circumstances leading to accidents, organize safety education, training and publicity at various levels, and act as a technician, planner, organizer and stimulator of safety. Friends, in this module you have studied the concept, the need, statutory provisions for health and safety, causes and prevention of accidents. Thanks for visiting EPG Pathshala.